Hi again. Well, this time I'm here and it's all about books. I want to talk to you about books that I'm reading, books that I've read, and books that have now just been added to my to be read pile. So I'm going to start off with something a little bit exciting. This arrived in the post, this package. Can you see it? Um, it's a book and it's like a newspaper, it's wrapped in newspaper. And it basically is saying, how would you feel if your husband didn't come home one day? And what if you found out his passport was missing? And what if you had a secret that might have driven him away? And on the front of it, it's, have you seen this missing man? And it gives his description. So open it up and see what's inside. See what treat is inside. It's in a great marketing. It's seriously really genius marketing here. So the book is The Missing Husband by Amanda Brooke. And this has been a little bit of a nice book post to me. It's one of the nice things about being with HarperCollins. They are very generous and they've sent me out a fellow author's book for me to read. And this one I think is wonderful. It looks to me like, for anyone who's a fan of Gone Girl, Girl on the Train, which I was a fan of both, I reckon I'm going to enjoy this. So I'm really looking forward to this book. So thank you very much for that. My husband actually came home with a treat for me. He brought me home The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton, which I cannot wait to read. I've heard some great things about that. So that's also going on to my pile of books to be read this summer. When the kids are on school break, my plan is, if the sun shines, we can hope, can't we? If the sun shines, I'm going to put the paddling pool in the back garden. And while they're splashing away in the sunshine, come on, sun, come on. Well, then I'm going to be able to get to some books. Another book, my editor, Charlotte Ledger, she sent me over this one because she just felt that I'd really enjoy it. And this is The Turning Point by Freya North. And again, she knows that I'm a fan of Freya. She's also published with HarperCollins, so I can't wait to have a read of that as well. And that actually sounds really, really good. Everyone deserves a new beginning, but sometimes fate is not on your side. And isn't that so true? Goodness me, I mean, it's amazing how our lives, we end up getting sent down different paths that we never ever expected that we would. And this one again now, it's probably very near the top of my next to be read, and it's An Ember in the Ashes. Isn't that just the most stunning, stunning, stunning cover? Hardback book, and it's by Saba Tahir. I hope I pronounced that right. Apologies, Saba, if I have pronounced it wrong. But that, to me, it looks beautiful. I cannot wait to read that. I'll be telling you all about it. So what have I read? Well, you know that I like my audiobooks. So first and foremost, the last audiobook I finished was The Last Anniversary by Liane Moriarty. Now, you know I'm a bit of a fan of Liane's. I've read quite a few of her books. And this one again, great characters, very descriptive, written with the same emotion and humour that I've come to expect from Liane. Some of the characters I found a little bit annoying. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about the story. It's set on Scrumpy Island. About a mystery kind of is at the centre of this book, the Munro baby mystery. And basically, two sisters, Connie and Rose, find a baby in a house on Scrumpy Island, and the parents have disappeared, and there appears to have been a struggle. There's blood on the ground. Decades later, the mystery has never been solved as to what happened to the baby's parents. They just basically vanished into thin air. The baby was adopted then by Rose and Connie and brought up as their own. And basically, the story is set around Sophie, who is a young woman who is approaching 40. She's single and she's really beginning to feel the pressure of meeting Mr. Right and having a baby before it gets too late. And then she is willed by Connie, one of the sisters who found this baby all those years ago. She's willed her house and she ends up moving to Scrumpy Island. And so it's about her life as she starts to dig into this mystery and gets to know the family, the Munro baby family, and all the people in that. There's some really interesting characters. I particularly liked one of the supporting characters, Margie, who is married to Ron for decades. She's overweight and she's going through a bit of her own journey. And I thought that was actually dealt with very, very beautifully. I think that sometimes marriages can go stale 20, 30, 40 years later. And I thought it was really beautiful the way we kind of looked at that particular relationship. Grace's character, again, one of the secondary characters, who was actually one of the main characters for me. She's happily married, really gorgeous husband, just had a beautiful baby, but she is broken and she's suffering from postnatal depression. And that storyline was haunting, was written so beautifully, really was very raw, and I really have to say I thought there was a wonderful job done with that. Sophie's character is the one that kind of annoyed me a bit, and I would have thought that I would have probably related to her most, because I know what it's like. I mean, I was 35 when I met my husband, so I can remember feeling a little bit of that kind of, ticking clock going on inside of me, and certainly I felt it from from family and things like that, when you get a settle down kind of effort. So I know what it's like to be kind of getting on a little bit, and you haven't managed to find Mr. Right. Thankfully Mr. H came along when I was 35 and all of that was sorted. But Sophie kind of annoyed me a little bit. I found her endearing at first, but by towards the end I was like, oh, come on, So that was the only bit about it. Wasn't my favourite of her books. However, I would still give it. It's a very strong book. You will enjoy it. I would certainly say highly recommend it. It wasn't as strong as some of the others that I have read of hers. This is only an art copy, so this is not the final cover. But You, Me and Other People by Fionnuala Kearney, finished, loved it, highly recommend it. Basically, it's the story. Well, the tagline on the front is, they say every family has skeletons in their closet. Yeah, we do. But what happens when you open the door and they won't stop tumbling out? I am telling you, every family in the world, I don't care who you are, have got skeletons in their closet. And we push the door, close it as much as we can. This one here is around this Beth and Adam, this couple who've been married for a long time. They have a grown-up daughter, Meg, who's fabulous, actually. And basically they split up. There's no spoilers here. They break up immediately because Adam has been cheating. And I have to say, nothing is black and white in this book, which is what I really loved. It's told from the point of view of both Beth and also Adam. And what's quite wonderful is that my sympathies, they change quite often, and my heart broke actually for both of them. I think that they're both broken people for very different reasons. A lot of blame on the shoulders of Adam. However, I think Fionnuala has done a really great job with this book. I also really enjoyed Meg, the daughter, and I just felt for her. I mean, God love her. It's tough when you're in the middle of that kind of a battlefield of a family that breaks up and all the stuff that happens around that. So I really, really did feel for her for that. But great book. The other book I finished, I mentioned I was reading, is Somewhere Only We Know by Erin, Lawless. And really, I think I've written my review and it's gone up, etc. But really loved it. It's a really great summer read. It's fantastic love story, and actually it's a love story set in London, and it's going to make you really want to kind of go over and visit London, which I'm actually doing on Saturday. I have another event on Saturday in the HarperCollins office that I'm heading over to for the day, so I get to spend the day in London, which is kind of pretty cool. And certainly that book was the perfect book to read before I went. It's a lovely summer read, and I highly recommend that. Oh, and last but not least, check out To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Needs no introduction. That's what I'm reading at the minute. And just for the crack, I on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Happy Mrs. H, you'll find me over there. I set up a challenge for June that we would reread or read for the first time, if you hadn't done it, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. And so I think there was about 38 or 39 of us who were doing it at the minute. And if you want to join in, it's only the middle of June, so do join in. And it's just, I hadn't read it in a good few years, and with the sequel coming out later this year, I wanted to read it again. So please join in and come find us on Facebook and you can read this. Don't forget, if you haven't seen my earlier vlog, this is part 2. Part 1, there's a competition on that, and do go and check out that. I'll put links down, etc. But other than that, thank you for stopping by, and I shall talk to you all soon. Bye bye.